Alright. Okay, let's get this thing started. Mike Pollock interview. Today with me I have three special guests and one major guest. Care to introduce yourselves?
Sonic Joshua 24 here.
The Chaos Emeralds.
I am Skittle Gamer 9.
That must be
And,
not my calling.
and this is our interview.
Pretty much.
Not to, not to waste any further time, but let's get started into questions. The first question is coming from the Chaos Emeralds.
Yay.
Who inspired you to voice acting?
Probably every cartoon and every children's record I ever heard as a child. Specifically the legends like Mel Blanc from the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes cartoons, and the cast of the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, Rocky and Friends.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
Thank
That
you.
is brilliant.
Thank
That
you.
is awesome.
Thank you.
Alright, Lewis, you ask a question.
Yeah. Is there any lines that you have done in the past that you think could have gone better, and would you go back and record them?
My job is to please the director, so if I leave the studio and the director's happy, then I'm happy.
Oh, that's fair enough then.
Yeah, I'm not
Fair enough.
second guessing the boss.
Alright, nice. Joshua, you can go.
Okay, during voice acting, what did you like voice acting the best?
I like any voice that makes me laugh. One of my favorite characters is Meat from Ultimate Muscle, who basically sounds like a big truck driver. So, any voices that I will laugh hysterically while I'm working makes me happy.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. Austin, you go ahead and ask a question.
Okay, this is an interesting one. Probably for many Sonic fans. Have you done any voice clips this year yet for Sonic Team?
I can't tell you till stuff's released. I'm not the publicity department, I'm just the talent.
Oh, okay.
But that's a great question, you're right.
Yes. What was your favorite line of Dr. Eggman?
Since the lines basically whiz past at blinding speed and I don't hear them nearly as many times as you hear them when you're playing a game, I don't have favorite lines in that way. I have favorite moment in the Sonic X series that went by at a slightly more reasonable pace, and I got to see them on TV a couple times. There was a moment in Sonic X when Dr. Eggman answers, he absolutely impossibly answers a listener or a phone call and picks up the phone with a hearty hello, which just amused me for some bizarre reason. And also towards the end of the series, he actually got to show some real emotion with the much maligned and much hated Chris Thorndike character. And I enjoyed the opportunity to add a little extra dimension into the character and play it a little more low key. So that was fun.
Great answer. That question was from Sonic Z Fan and Jaden 2602. Next question. How was your experience as Eggman? What would you like to change about this character? So a double question.
I'd probably change his anger issues, but that's probably the nature of the character, so that'd be silly. My job isn't to change stuff. I'm the hired talent. I show up and read what's on the page and give the best performance possible and make sure the director is happy by the time I'm done. So there's never been a bad experience with recording Dr. Eggman. I love working. So the fact that I can walk into a room, read some stuff, get paid, and leave makes me happy. Not necessarily in that order. So it's just it's spectacular work. It's a joy to do. It's more fun than humans should be allowed to have. So I love working. I love recording anything. That's my job. It's what I do.
Nice. Alright, Lewis, you can go ahead and ask a question. If you're ready.
How was it voicing Ella from Sonic X? Because some of the lines that I've heard during watching Sonic X has made me laugh. And when I found out that the same voice that voiced Dr. Eggman voiced Ella, I just burst out laughing. How was it for you, knowing you'd voice someone like Ella?
It's the most hysterical bit of casting that I've ever been involved with. The fact that I got to play a character so unlike myself in so many ways, with such a hysterical voice, just made me laugh. So it was tough to get through Ella sessions because I'd be laughing so hard, hearing that voice coming out of me and matching the lip flap of that woman on the screen. So it was hysterical. for so many levels. And the fact that there are still so many people that don't realize that it was me, which actually makes me deliriously happy because that speaks volumes about my versatility, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, that really gives out a good word for you.
Thank
Uh, Mike,
you.
finish what you were saying.
No, I just like to remind people that I'm far more versatile than most people realize.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Josh, you can go.
Okay. Let's see. If anyone were to ask you if they wanted your voice in a fan game, would you do it?
Well, I can't. I've got a contract, so I can't do any type of Sonic-related fan game because Sega would have my head, and that'd be the last you'd hear of me. But I will do original stuff. Creating a brand new game with brand new characters not related to anything. Then we could discuss something. But it's Sega owns the characters. Sega owns me as the characters. So I can't do it unless Sega tells me to. And for a fan game, Sega's not going to tell me to.
All right, Austin, you can go.
Okay, have you ever talked to anyone in person that wanted you to do a Dr. Eggman impression?
Yeah, and I could do like generic stuff like I'm Dr. Eggman because that can't be taken and turned into things that are untoward, shall we say. But as far as custom stuff, I got to be careful because again, it's Sega's character, and I got to treat it with respect. I take my marching orders for Dr. Eggman from Sega, and if I start doing too much on my own without their permission, that's going to run into unnecessary trouble that no one needs.
It's understandable though.
Thank you.
Next
It's a precious jewel. One must take care of it.
Yes.
Like the Chaos
Very,
Emeralds?
Something.
very fragile.
Exactly.
All right. Next question coming from me. What's it like working with big voice actors such as Roger Craig Smith and other people such as himself?
Well, in most cases, I don't work directly with them. We are separated by some 3,000 miles in most cases, and we're recording separately. So I met them once for a few hours. They were really nice, but most of the time I just show up and read my lines and leave. Unfortunately, that's what this business is like more often than not, and the kind of stuff I do. So I actually like working with people, but the people that I generally am working with are the director and the engineer on the other side of the glass, which is fine, and we have a grand old time. But as far as from an acting standpoint, I don't get to act with a lot of people in real time a lot. So when I do, it's like, oh, this is fun. I remember when I used to do this when I was in stage in school production. But the nature of the business is there's not really a lot of acting. I did a couple of commercials recently, which were things, and I got to actually work in real time. So this is a nice throwback to how I like to work. The job dictates that that's not always the case.
Indeed. This question comes from Mr. Shiny Keys. Where do you hide the secrets of Eggman?
I show up and read what's on the script, so whatever the script tells me is what my secrets are.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you.
Austin, you may go if you have another question to ask.
Okay, what are your favorite characters voice act in any franchise?
Again, the ones with the wacky voices that make me laugh. Meat from Ultimate Muscle and the various related voices. So there's Meat, who's the big truck driver, from the show that no one ever watches, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, where I played Bonaparte, which is basically the effeminate version of Meat, very subtle differences. Gogoriki, I played Big Oriki, who was a more intelligent version of Meat, just shades of difference. And any of the wacky voices. Ella was a wacky voice that amused me to no end. But any character, whether it's a wacky voice or not, if it's well written and makes me laugh, I am laughing right along with it.
Nice answer.
Thank you.
Josh, you may go.
Okay. If you had a Chaos Emerald right now, would you convert your car to use the Chaos Emerald's energy?
If it would save money, sure. In this economy.
Because it certainly would.
Perfect. And in that case, I'm all for it. Get right on that.
Well, now you have something to do, Josh. Lewis, you may go.
If the creators of Wreck-It Ralph, well, Disney obviously, would have had actually had a speaking role for Eggman, and would have asked you to voice him, would you have gone and taken a heartbeat?
People keep asking questions like that, and my response is, why would I turn down work?
Oh,
That would sound like Vector would say in the Chaotix.
well, that's true.
As an actor, my job is to work to make money. So if
Sorry.
someone wants to pay me for something, sure, I'll do it. Within reason, within various legalities, but sure. I love working. I would not turn down work in most cases.
Nice. All right,
Thank
this
you.
question comes from John Valenti. Dark chocolate or white chocolate?
Dark chocolate all the way.
Nice. All right, I have a question. Yeah. Okay. What was your favorite Sonic game to voice act, if you do have one?
Just because they were both well written, toss up between colors and generations, both made me laugh.
Oh, that reminds me of something. Also in Colors, how was it voicing those background lines that you would hear throughout the park?
The PA announcements were a blast.
Yeah. Because you had some wacky lines in there, and those are awesome.
I was quite pleased with how those turned out.
Well written, well acted.
I will take partial credit. Thank you.
All right, Lewis, do you have anything you want to say? Or
Well, I haven't got anything, but come back to me later on, and I might have something.
all right, Josh. do you
Sorry.
have any-
Okay, this may sound computer techie, but do you like Windows or Macintosh?
I'm not torn, but I have to have split preferences. I personally am a Windows guy, well, Windows and then Android on the mobile devices. But Mac is the industry standard for audio production in most cases. Most studios I go into are using Pro Tools, and Pro Tools is a Mac thing. So
Right.
I have great respect for Mac. I'm not personally using it. The times that I've tried to use it and run Pro Tools, it didn't agree with me. But I respect what Mac can do. But for me, it's PC, Windows at home.
Yeah, basically. And I installed Windows Vista on a Mac.
Best of luck with that. If you're running
All
Windows,
right.
you get what you deserve. But that's another matter.
Austin, do you have anything you want to ask?
Not on the top of my head, no.
All right, I'm pretty stumped too. Unless you guys have any other questions, we can end it up here.
No.
You
No.
don't have anything?
All right then.
Nope. All right. Well, this has been the Mike Pollock interview. Thank you so much for coming along. Mike
Thanks for
Pollock.
having me. Thanks for asking.
No problem. It was my honor, personally. And thank you three for joining me.
You're welcome.
No problem.
You're welcome.
It was really fun.
Thank you so much.
It was fun.
It was.
All right.
Me too.
All right. Thank you all. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Peace.